she fell into the door as it opened, and she started screaming help. I did like this. I just didn't pull it up. I just right to the head.
The man in the video is 21-year-old Christopher Shows, and he is just showing how he ended 25-year-old Amanda Suarez's life. But that was just the beginning of a horrifying story.
Let me ask you something. Why were her clothes off of her? Was she wearing panties?
Yeah.
Okay. So you pulled that off of her. Did you have to unzip them, or were they buttoned, or were they unbuttoned?
I think I just pulled them off.
Okay, so you pulled them off.
Mm-hmm.
And then, what did you do after that?
I just got on top of her and...
Did you take your clothes off?
Yeah, I just kind of pulled my shorts down.
After killing Amanda, Shows didn't stop, but went on to assault her dead body. The details were heartbreaking and at the same time, disturbing. This was a case where the detectives would be left stunned by the confession of this young necrophiliac. This sinister case started with a frantic 911 phone call by Amanda's sister on December 7th, 2016.
911, what's your emergency? Yes, I have an emergency. Yes, ma'am, what's going on? I'm at the store right now, but my sister's at the house, and there's blood everywhere. There's blood everywhere? Yes. Is that your sister's house? What's your sister's address? I don't remember. It's a name on far.
Without wasting a minute, the officers arrived at Amanda's house at Okeechobee, only to be met with a gruesome scene inside. Blood was splattered across the floor, accompanied by drag marks. Near the kitchen hall, Amanda lay in a pool of blood, half naked, with her shirt torn apart. Adding to the horror, her body was positioned in a pose resembling a crucifixion. A gunshot wound to the back of her head confirmed the sinister violence, and blood-soaked shoe prints were scattered throughout the house, leaving the officers with the first piece of evidence. The officers searched for Amanda's cell phone but couldn't find it at the scene. However, they quickly tracked its GPS signal a few miles away, where it had been tossed onto the side of the road near the Okeechobee Missionary Baptist Church. Retrieving and examining the blood-stained cell phone, the officers found the smoking gun they'd been hoping for. The gallery contained a photo of a man dozing off on Amanda's couch, and the timestamp showed it was taken within half an hour of her death. The detectives then showed the photo to Amanda's sister, the one who called the police, and she quickly recognized the man. She provided them with the vital information they needed. He wasn't a stranger, but Christopher Shows, the fiancé of one of Amanda's cousins. With that, on December 16th, 2016, Shows was brought to the police station for an interrogation.
All right, we're reading through this ourselves. We're here. We got working on a case, and maybe you might be able to make some need. We're just gonna go back to as far as how old are you now?
21.
You go to high school here?
No, I work. I quit school.
When did you quit school?
11th grade.
11?
11. I stopped and started going to work. It got a little rough.
Okay.
We moved down here, and it was rough down here, and I just kind of quit going to school.
Where do you go to school at?
I don't go.
Where was the last?
I went to Okeechobee.
Oh, you went to Okeechobee High School. So you've been here how long?
I've been here about 3 years.
3 years?
I'm from Mississippi.
3 years, okay. So 3 years in Okeechobee? From Mississippi. Okay. And the 3 years you've been here, who have you been dating anybody or?
I was dealing with my fiance.
Fiance?
It's been 3 years.
3 years.
I wasn't here too long when I met her.
Okay. What's her name?
The one that's in the hospital, and that's why I went there with.
Okay. Is she okay?
Hopefully. She might have to have heart surgery.
Oh, pretty serious then.
She's probably going to go home today. Hopefully that's why I was up there, and hopefully everything will be okay.
Okay. So y'all been together for about 3 years?
Mm-hmm.
Y'all have any kids together?
I'm thinking about it.
Okay.
Maybe a few years. We're getting married next year. Maybe.
What about, so you're not married yet? Engaged yet?
Engaged, yeah.
Okay. How long?
Since September. 2 months, maybe.
Okay. What about your mom, family? You got family here?
Yes, I have a mom and my brother and 2 sisters.
Okay.
And then the rest of the family, aunts, uncles, grandmas live in Belgrade, but I don't really have nothing to do with
And
them.
the Buck, huh?
Yeah.
What's your mom's name? And where she live?
I don't know her address. I know she lives at MacArthur's.
Okay.
It's the first dirt road on the right. As soon as you get to MacArthur's, the first barn you see on the right is that dirt road after.
When was the last time you lived with her?
Oh, that was about 3 years ago, I guess.
You haven't lived there since?
No.
After gathering his family details, detectives go on to dig deeper into his whereabouts, hoping to uncover anything that might connect him to the day of the incident.
And you work at MacArthur's?
I don't know if you're out there. Currently I'm working overnight.
How long have you been at MacArthur's? It's hard work, huh? Did you do that before, or is this the first time you've done it?
Yeah, I worked at Larson 5.
Okay.
Well, I worked at Larson 5, but it's a lot of hours. They kept messing around with me on my days off and stuff.
So you worked at Larson 5 for how long?
I was there about 8 months.
8 months?
8 or 9 months. I was there for a while. I had a house and everything.
And now you're over here at MacArthur's for 2 weeks? Said? 2 weeks? When did you start at MacArthur's, do you remember?
It was, it was a Tuesday or a Wednesday. It was a Tuesday or Wednesday, I think.
Of this week or last week?
No, maybe this is my 3rd week.
3rd week?
I think, I gotta say it's probably my 3rd week here.
Okay. So you've been in MacArthur's for about 3 weeks?
Mm-hmm.
You like it there?
Yeah, it's alright. I don't plan to stay there too long.
Yeah. So you've been working there for about 3 weeks, you said.
Mm-hmm.
When, do you work the day shift or night shift?
Yes, I switch every month. Every month it goes from night to days. When I started, I was on days for like 2 days. I switched over the nights on that 2nd day because they really needed help. I started on the days and I switched to nights.
Okay. How long?
I would be switching the days January.
Okay.
Now that the detectives understand what Christopher Shows does for a living, their next step is to confirm his work schedule. By determining whether he should have been at his job or at home during the time of Amanda's murder, they can either rule him out or tighten their focus on him as a suspect.
And when you get off work, what time do you get off work?
About 6.
6 in the morning?
6 in the morning.
And then you go home, go to sleep?
Yeah, I go home. I get off work at 6. Go home, shower, eat. If my wife's not home for a fiance, I call her. And I'm out for the day.
So you
Wake up
to sleep
about
all day?
4:30. I wake up and get ready for the day again.
Okay, that's your average. So you go
Every day.
So you get home at 6, by 7:30 or so you're in bed, right?
Yeah.
And you
Just going up to shower, eat, watch TV, talk to my fiance for a little bit, and
And you sleep till 4 on average?
4,
And then you go back
4:30.
to work at what time?
I have to be there at 6:30, but I'm up about 4 just to be up because I've done slept for a little while anyway.
So all this week you work nights in the same routine?
Same routine.
What about last week? Same routine every day?
Yeah, it's the same thing every day. It's non-stop. It's always
hard
the
work,
same
yeah.
thing, yeah.
So same routine?
The only time you get to do anything is when you're off.
Yeah.
Like, that's what my wife told me.
Yeah, it's just...
It don't give you no time to get in no damn trouble.
Yeah.
That's why I'm looking for something. I need something out.
So you can go out and get in trouble?
No,
Oh, okay.
a little more free time. 2 days ain't enough, really. I mean, it's 11, 12 hours every day, and you're never home.
Yeah.
In the 2 days, you sleep most of it, trying to relax and get rested up.
Yeah.
But it's the same routine.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, so last week, let's go back to last week. You worked all week, nights. You go home every day by 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
You're asleep by somewhere about 7:30.
Yeah.
And you sleep till 4. That's every day.
Yeah.
Now, is there any days of those days that you didn't go home and go to bed immediately? Do you ever go to town? Do you ever go anywhere?
No, I don't go nowhere.
So last week, every day was your routine to go to bed at the same time?
Yeah.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Same routine. You didn't go anywhere?
No, I
Stay home.
stay at home. I stay home. I mowed my dad's grass one morning. But like I said, about 8:30, I quit that and went to bed because if I have to have sleep, I'm the person that has to have a sleep or I'm not happy. And
Do you ever try to stay up and just fall asleep?
me?
Yeah, like today. Today you were tired. You fell asleep at the hospital, right?
Today I couldn't go to sleep in that chair. I just kind of went out of it by myself.
Those chairs are not comfortable over there.
And you can't lay all the way back in them.
No.
Everybody's in there talking, and the man is kind of knocked out.
Yeah. But normally, if you don't go to sleep when you're at the dairy, off work from the dairy, you pretty much can't stay up. It's hard for you to stay up, right?
Yeah, when I go home, I'm dead tired, and I got my bed, I'm done. I'm finished, and I'm going to sleep.
With Show's schedule now clear, the detectives are still working their way toward the crucial questions. However, before they can even bring it up, Show's unexpectedly introduces the topic of Amanda's death himself.
I remember when everything happened that day.
Happened what?
My wife told me.
Okay, what about
I
that?
woke up, and my wife woke me up. She called me. I was just getting in the shower, getting ready, and she called me, telling me everything that happened.
Yeah.
That.
What did you hear about it?
She said that first they said there was a body. That's all we knew. And she was saying she's going to kill Jessica. Jess did something to her sister.
Is Justice something to her?
Yeah,
so she thinks Justice something to her?
She thought because she heard that Jess was, I guess, in jail.
Jessica? Little skinny Jessica was in jail for what?
And she said that there was a body, but they didn't know. Yes, and she said, I want to kill Jess, and she did something. So I told her I'm sorry, and we kind of left it at that, hung up, and she called me back a little later and said it was her, and I was like, oh, damn.
So when did you get the call that it was her?
I don't know.
Remember what time?
5:30.
Do you remember the day?
It was Wednesday when it happened.
Wednesday last week.
Yeah.
So that day you worked that night before, Tuesday night all the way to Wednesday morning?
Yes.
And then you went to bed after you got home?
Yes, sir. I called my wife, told her she was going to Disney World. It was her taken out.
Oh, okay, so
her
she went to
birthday.
Disney World.
She was going to Disney World. Her parents were taking her out. I didn't make it because I just got this job. I lost another job. I was drinking at my other job, and I wrecked and went in the license to kind of destroy property.
With the truck, or your truck or their truck?
With my car, my Mustang.
So your Mustang's done?
Yeah, it's total.
What have you been driving?
I've been driving my dad's truck or my wife, my mom.
Who's your dad?
Oh, it's my girlfriend's dad.
Oh, so you call him Dad?
Yeah,
South
been in the
Harold?
family 2 years.
Harold?
Been in the family 2 years. I call him that, or I've been taking my wife's car.
So you've been driving his truck and your car. I saw the car, but it had like weeds and stuff underneath it. You're running to a ditch?
Where, the Mustang?
Yeah.
The red Mustang?
Yeah,
I hit, that's what I was saying. I was drinking tequila, and I wrecked off and hit a pole and totaled that car out.
Oh, you were working?
No,
I
finished. No.
Oh, you got off work?
I was working the day shift at Larson's. I went over there and drank, and stupid started driving. And I went to the barn and broke all the wall lines, and they fired me. They chose not to call the cops, but they said I couldn't go.
You broke their property, so they're pretty upset. So you usually drive, now you're driving your girlfriend's dad's truck, Howard's truck.
Yeah, well, now that she's back up, taking her car.
How long has she been back up?
Well, 2-3 days now.
2 days. Now, before that, you drove his truck. Did you usually ask him to drive his truck, or he lets you drive it whenever you want?
No. You don't be like his truck anywhere. You don't like that. I'll just drive it to work in it. Yeah.
Okay. When was the last time? Obviously, you were off this past weekend, Friday and Saturday, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Did you go anywhere in his truck Friday and Saturday?
No.
So you stay home the whole time?
See, Friday and Saturday they were back. So I was with them, I guess.
Okay. So Friday and Saturday you didn't drive the truck. When was the last time you drove the truck?
See, I know I drove it all last week.
You drove it all last week?
Yeah.
After work, or because you slept?
Oh no! I drive it back and forth to work.
The detectives already know that he is lying, and Shows remains unaware that they have solid evidence placing him at Amanda's house at the time of the murder. They decide to keep this information hidden for now, letting him continue to spin his web of lies. The more he lies, the stronger his position becomes as the prime suspect.
They don't want me driving their vehicles, really.
So you don't drive to town or anywhere else?
No, they don't want me to drive it because of the fact that I wrecked my car from drinking.
So when was the last time you drove that truck to town?
That thing to town, I drove it to that little store to get gas with my wife. That's it.
When was the last time?
That was Friday. I had to get gas in it. I didn't even make it to the store. It died on me.
Okay. So Friday is the last time you drove it to town?
Yeah, basically.
Where did it die at?
It died like 5 minutes from the house. It was, the gas light had been on since that past Sunday. They say it can go 55 miles. I don't trust that.
No,
But you gotta
go 55 miles.
crank the car up and let it idle for a little while.
Yeah.
Before you can get in and drive it, because it won't go nowhere if you don't.
So Friday's the last time you drove to town?
Yeah.
What about last week at all? Did you drive to town?
No.
You say you were home sleeping every day, so.
Yeah, I don't
go to drive to town.
Yeah.
So you didn't visit anybody in town? You didn't go anywhere in town last week?
No.
You worked all week, and then on the weekends when you spent time with your family, and you were with them when you drove the truck, except when you went to get gas.
Yeah, that's the only time I drove that truck. Basically trying to sit down with that little for to get gas.
Okay.
Now I was with my wife, I ride with her.
Yeah. And you were saying that that your Sarah is related to the girl that was killed over here? Your cousins? Are they good, close cousins?
They were like sisters.
Okay. What about you? Are you close to her too? And her husband?
I consider myself in the family. I was close to her husband. I worked with their husband.
He was a milker, or?
No, I worked with him at his job he does now.
Oh, laying line?
Yeah, I didn't like it. Only lasted 2 days.
Hard work?
I was kind of scared to get shot.
Yeah. That's understandable.
Shows knew Amanda's family well, especially her husband, Matthew. To add some more information, Amanda and Matthew had 3 sons, Chandler, Charlie, and EJ, and a daughter, Hayden. Now that the detectives know Shows had a good relationship with Matthew, they'll be working to connect the pieces and understand the story better and reveal the truth.
So you're pretty close to Matthew? Is that his name? Matthew?
I think we're closer than like family-wise.
Do you go to their house often?
No.
Never?
I went there the 2 days I went to work.
2 days, when was that?
Yeah, I worked with him.
So you only been there twice?
A few times on occasions, I guess. It's not something we went all the time. They more like came and seen us.
Okay.
They was more the kind.
Just, when was the last time you went and visited them?
It was, when was it? I remember I didn't go there and visit or nothing. I was there. I was taking my wife there to get my mom. I can't remember when that was.
Was it months ago, weeks ago?
No, it was, I think it was in November.
November?
It was the end of November.
So it's been a couple weeks?
Yeah, I was there. I had to take my wife to
weeks?
get my mom. Yeah, and Matt came out there and talked to me and everything. He was walking, so.
Now I know Matt smokes pot.
Yes.
Do you smoke pot?
Dude, used to a long time ago.
Yeah.
I've been clean from that. It didn't do me no good.
So you don't smoke pot with old Matt?
Don't even drink no more.
No?
Cigarettes is all I do.
So you don't go to his house and hang out and smoke weed with him, like
Yeah.
a lot of friends of his do?
No, I want to keep my wife. If I smoke that, she'll leave me. So
She'll leave you?
I don't do that. And I don't even drink no more.
So you don't normally go to his house and
No.
hang out with him? Do you ever sleep at his house? You sleep over? You never slept over at his house
No.
or anything like that?
Mm-hmm.
You never stayed there the night or nothing like that?
No.
Okay.
Like I said, they're always the ones that come out
Mm-hmm.
to where we're at. But like I said, I've had one house for a while. I've just only been back there with my mom for about 2 weeks. My
And that's-
wife's mom.
Wife's mom. So you call them parents?
Yeah, because I've known them for so long. It's like
Yeah.
them in the family. That's what I'm saying. I was basically close with all this family.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like I had to be there for everything when all this was going on.
So you said Matthew and them go over there, hang out with them?
Yeah, they'll
That's where
come
you
over.
usually see them. How many
Yeah.
times would you say you've been at their house?
Oh, over 3 years. It's strange. Maybe 5.
At their house?
Yeah, I haven't been over there that much.
So then 3 years to 5? 5 years, you said?
3 years. It's been 3 years, but I've probably been on like 5 or 6
Oh,
times.
3 years or
today.
5 or 6 times.
Yeah.
So it's been 3 years since you actually went in the house, but you've been there with your wife to drop her off to get something? Is that what you said?
No, it's been 3 years since I've known them, but I've been to their house
About 5 times.
about 5 or 6 times. I've been over there, actually been in there over like occasions, like a birthday party or something, but
Mhm.
they never really had things at their house anyway. We really didn't go over there a lot. It was always them coming to see us or we meet somewhere, but I have been over there.
Okay, so November you said was the last time you were there.
Yeah.
What do you
and it
do
was
when-
just at nighttime, and I was dropping my wife off to get her mom.
So it was nighttime?
Yeah, her mom was over there for a birthday party
At Matt's?
at Matt's. Yeah.
They had a birthday
I
party for the
think
kids or
we're-
for
Yeah.
one of the kids?
Okay.
And you, it was a night that you stayed there at all? Did you fall asleep in the house? Did you go to bed?
No, I
So you never stayed at their house at night?
No.
You never slept in their house or anything
No.
like that?
The detectives try to determine if Shows had fallen asleep at Amanda's house to align with the evidence they have. However, his complete denial only serves to make him look more guilty. Soon enough, it'll be time for the detectives to lay the facts out in front of Shows and confront him with the evidence.
And it's been since back then, but have you ever driven your dad's truck over there, which would be Howard's truck, to their house?
Yes, I drove over there before.
When was that?
But it was a while ago.
When was a while ago?
Maybe the 4th or so.
4th of July? Ooh, that's been a while ago.
New Year's, 4th of July.
So
it seems like that we would go over there.
Okay. So last time you remember was 4th of July, you drove the truck there?
Yeah, it was this year, but it was the beginning of the year, I guess.
The beginning of this year?
I drove over there. And I remember because I hit my wife's car with the truck. I backed right into it.
We'll keep running into vehicles. I'll ditch you.
What kind of truck you say you had?
It's the red Dodge.
Your father, or your Sarah's dad?
Yeah, it's the red Dodge.
And you said the last time you drove was Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And
to get gas in
and
it.
the last time you drove it to the house was probably 4th of July or before that, for New Year's, right?
When I drove there to the house, it was the end of November.
Yeah,
But
but
I
you
time
drove
I
the truck
drove
there?
to the house, it was, yeah, it had to be. That's not the only time I recall. Is it was the 4th. What's the I think because I hit her car. I think it was the 4th.
Back damage to the car?
Yeah, a little bitty
Thing?
thing on the front of her car when she freaked out because it's my
Oh,
car.
I freaked out too. So last time when you drove Sarah in November, late November, you took the truck there or you drove her car there?
Car.
Her car, okay. That's clarified. The neighbors. Do you know the neighbors next door?
No.
They're weird people or they're okay people?
Weird.
Weird? Why would you say they're weird?
One guy over there, he's a little weird. He's a little freak. Like, he bugs out and always yelling at his mom or girlfriend or somebody.
Yeah.
I don't know, my mom not shit out of me if I got her like that.
Yeah. Sure.
Either theirs would be not to fuck out with her.
Yeah.
Nobody should talk to their mom like that.
Mm-hmm.
No wonder they would talk like that. I don't like it if I stay away from people like that. I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like I said, they're weird to me because I see him bug out like that, but I don't really know him.
Yeah. So they're kind of weird, just weird people.
Yeah, I think they're drug heads probably.
Is there anything you've seen that makes you think they're drug heads?
The way they are.
Yeah.
You can smell pot sometimes, but it could not be coming from them.
Could be coming from Matthew's house.
Shows dismissively called the neighbors weird, but soon the irony will unfold. As the investigation progresses, it'll become clear just what kind of person Shows really is, and that he is indeed much worse than being weird.
Been having problems.
Oh, okay.
They've been arguing and having all kind of problems. No really.
Relations?
Yeah, just a lot of problems. They argue a lot. He talked about getting the house and leaving her and whatever.
Yeah.
Because she wants to dress the kids right, and he said it doesn't matter what they wear. So he's like, I'll just get about the house and leave you and whatever.
So there's money issues there?
There's a lot of issues with money and stuff.
So you're saying they don't have a good life? Is that what Matt told you?
No, that's what I heard from Glenda, because she tells Sarah everything, and then Sarah tells me everything.
Okay. And what was the issues with
And
them?
plus I hear Glenda talking to her husband and stuff.
Yeah, what was the issues with them that you heard?
Not just about all the kids, and it wasn't just it was just they was always having problems.
What was the issues that they were having? Do you remember?
Like the kids, I guess.
The kids were
being there and they couldn't do nothing.
Okay.
And
So they're having all kind of issues then?
yeah, so that's what happened. Glenda went over there and talked to them.
So you dropped Glenda off?
No, Glenda went over there in her car.
Okay.
Her yellow Xterra, she went over there in that car.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Sarah was in town for some reason. I think we was eating.
Mm-hmm.
We was getting something to eat. We was at Burger King, and then Glenda called and said, can you come and pick me up and take me home because I'm done here and I can't see. She can't drive dinner night. So I took Sarah over there to get Glenda, and I went home as soon as I dropped her off. I made sure everything was good, and I went home and went to sleep, and Sarah came home. I wasn't working. I was working with Matt and Calvin, I think. I worked with them, I think.
Let's get back to the last time you were at the house, which was back when you put the couches in the house.
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys drink, smoke, nothing like that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Have you ever been to a hanging out there where, you know, people were partying out, taking pictures, just being crazy?
No.
Right.
They didn't really party like that.
Mm-hmm.
They just had a little pot party. It would just be Matt and Calvin, and Jason and Ross. You know, just
So no, nothing as far as craziness and fights and carrying on, and maybe a lot of pictures and stuff being taken of people in the house and like that?
No, nothing.
All right.
Once again, the detectives try to see if Shows has any idea of the picture in Amanda's phone. But it's evident by now that Shows has no idea the detectives are fully aware of his lies. They sit patiently, letting him dig himself deeper, knowing they already hold the key evidence.
She was kind of an attractive girl, in a way, right?
No, I didn't really look at her like that.
No. I thought she was attractive when I looked at her pictures, you know. But
No, I didn't look at her.
did her and Matt have problems with just her not wanting to be with him, or was it that she was seeing someone
I don't know
else?
how far that goes down. Like, I know they was having just, I don't even know if it was just relationship problems or not, but I know they was having problems. They had been having problems, but they was planning to be alone on New Year's.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody was going to take the kids and they was going to be alone, I guess, and try to make things up or whatever.
Or work things out?
Yeah. And I think they were alone a few days after they had that talk, I think. We got the kids and stuff, but Linda said she don't know why we got the kids if they didn't do nothing.
Yeah.
Because they didn't even argue that night either.
They already that night?
Yeah, she said they didn't
Do anything?
make up or anything like they were supposed to go to dinner, nothing. They didn't do nothing. She said, I don't know why the fuck we got the kids, why even try?
The way Amanda was found strongly suggested a forceful assault. The detectives try to find out if Shows has any attraction to Amanda, but since they didn't get clear answers, they decide it's time to focus on the murder.
Let's get back to, do you remember when she was killed?
Yeah, I remember the day it happened when I got called.
What day was that?
It was a Wednesday, I think.
Wednesday? What do you hear about that?
All I know,
What do you hear?
over the time I've heard things, but
What have you
the
heard?
day it happened, she said that there was a body. She was going to kill Jess if she knew if Jess did anything. And
So she suspected
later
Jess
that-
doing something.
yeah, because she had heard that Jess was handcuffed. So you know, rumors get started again. She heard Jess was handcuffed and there was a body. But she didn't know at that time either. She just said, I'm going to kill Jess if she did something to hurt your sister. Then all that went out the window. She called me back and said, go on and this and that. And I was like, I'm sorry. I had to go to work that night. I wanted to be there, but I just started the job. So I had to go to work. I went to work, got home. I called her. She come out to me that morning. That day she came out and she was all tore up. And I was holding her and telling her I'm sorry. Everything's going to be okay. Even though it's not going to be okay. You don't feel or something like this. And next few days I would just go to work and I'd be there with them when I could.
Okay.
Then she told me that recently, a few days ago, I guess, the funeral guy told Matt that she was shot. So we found out she was shot.
The funeral guy told her that?
Told Matt.
Told Matt?
Told Matt, and then Matt told everybody else. And then she told me that she was shot, and they said she was in blood and naked, and
Mm-hmm. What else did you
just
hear?
found her. And that's about it.
That's all you heard?
Yeah,
She was
she
shot
said,
and then-
well, I could tell you everything, I guess, there's no sense. Well, she told me that Mary Ann, I guess, was calling the cops. Mary Ann, I don't know.
Was Mary Ann?
She's a cousin. I think that was sister.
Okay.
She was there going to daycare.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I mean, their family went to daycare, yeah, so she just picked up and took her home. And I think she was going to call the cops, and the neighbor said, don't call the cops.
Okay.
We don't need them here or whatever.
So what do you hear about what happened?
Just that she had got shot, and maybe she was, because she was naked in a puddle of blood, and her bra was half off, I guess.
Okay. Who gave you all this detail? Who told you all this? Just people.
Well, my fiance tells me everything. I'm not just going to go up in the thing and be like, hey, what's going on?
Yeah.
Sarah told me everything, but I guess they found out from Matt. Linda found out from Matt.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. They told. And it is bad.
Okay.
I guess that Sarah and them on top of that because they were close.
Mm-hmm.
While information about Jess may leave much to be desired, regrettably, the details regarding it are inaccessible. However, one thing is clear. While Amanda's relatives suspected someone else, the detectives were certain there was only one real suspect, Christopher Shows.
As far as, again, the day that she died, you said you worked till that morning, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And then you went home, took a shower.
Talked to Sarah.
Talked to Sarah.
Tell her, because she didn't know she was going to Disney World.
Okay.
I knew. And then she found out and she was all crying because she was happy. And I told her, I hope you have fun.
So they left that morning before you got home?
No, they were gone. They left the night.
The night before? When you were working?
Yeah, I had to go to work.
The whole family left?
Yeah, Sarah, the family left. Glenn and them left. Then me and Sarah was there. Sarah left. See, Wednesday, is it Tuesday? Tuesday at lunchtime, Sarah left with Brittany.
Mm-hmm.
Harold and Linda left Monday, I'm saying. Monday.
So your parents, her parents left Monday, and then your girlfriend and her sister left
Tuesday around lunchtime when I was sleeping.
So when you got home, there was no one home?
No. No, that's what I'm saying. I called her Wednesday.
And then you went to sleep?
Called her, called my mom, called my dad.
And then you went to sleep after you got home?
Yeah, I mowed half of Harold's yard.
Oh, so that's when you mowed?
Yeah, I mowed him out half of Harold's yard. It was about 8:30, so I went to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
I told him I'm done. I still didn't finish the yard up.
Is there anyone that can say you were there when that happened? When you mowed the yard and you were home? Or you were just home alone?
I was just there by myself. I was just talking to my wife and
on the phone. And then you ended up going.
Because I had been telling Dad that I was going to mow his yard for him and I'll probably do it.
Mm-hmm.
Sarah told me don't do it. There's going to be too much when you try to do that. Then go to sleep.
Yeah.
I said I could probably get it done because this is your return. Mow that yard quick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. About 8:30, I was falling asleep on the mower.
Yeah.
And I about messed up. And
okay.
mower up. So I was like, I gotta go ahead and go to sleep.
Alright. So I just want to make sure, because we talk to a lot of people.
Yeah.
We want to make sure we cover every angle and talk to everyone, because until we figure this out, everyone's a suspect. You understand that? And we appreciate you
I
cooperating with
told
us.
Sarah that eventually they're going to get around to me too, because
we got into everybody else,
I've
right?
seen movies and I know everything happened.
We got to get to everybody. What I want to ask you is, okay, you say you were home on Tuesday. You have no one that can, or Wednesday. You have no one that can say you were home Wednesday. You mowed the lawn Wednesday, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got
The
home.
only ones that will be able to tell you that I'm not in my yard is the people that work out in the field and stuff.
They saw you. Right? There's no telling who saw you or who didn't see you.
No.
So you pretty much don't have anybody to say you were there on Wednesday. You have a cell phone, right?
Yes.
Okay.
They took my phone.
Yes. We have to check phones also. And you know why we check phones, right? Because we can go back on those phones and we can tell where that phone was at all times, going back in time.
This is the moment when everything turned upside down for Shows. From here on, he will slowly get tangled in his web of lies, unable to escape the truth that's closing in on him.
So we can go back from now till then, and we can tell where you were then. You understand what I'm saying? We can follow that phone wherever it went.
Yeah, you have some point in this.
So that's where we have your phone.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
And you're not the only one we're doing this to.
Okay.
But we want to make sure that everything you told me was the truth.
Yeah.
So if there's anything you need to change, you can
No,
tell me now.
No,
Okay. So when we go back to Wednesday morning, that phone is going to go from your barn to the house, and it's going to stay there.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yes.
Okay. So if that phone moves from your house to this house, we have a problem.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And that's a huge problem. That's something that you're going to have to answer to.
Yes, sir.
Okay? And I'm going to get to the point now. Okay? I can tell you haven't been really honest with me on a lot of things. Because as investigators, we follow every lead. We follow every turn. We talk to everyone. Okay? And we followed her phone also. Okay? You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And your phone is being followed now to see how far it went, where it moved to.
Mm-hmm.
And I can tell you right now that I'm pretty sure your phone was at her house. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And there's a good reason why I know that. So you and I need to have a good talk. You understand what I'm saying? Can you explain to me why you were there?
I wasn't even there. I went to work and...
Hold on a second, okay? See, we found Sarah's phone.
Sarah?
Oh, not Sarah's. We have her phone. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And your picture's in that phone. And your picture's in that phone within the time period that she was killed. Inside her house. Do you understand me? Same date, same time. You see who that is? That's you inside her house. Within a half hour of her being killed. You understand what I'm saying? This is why we're here. This is your chance to tell me what you have to say.
Things have been finally laid out in front of shows. He has nowhere to run now. But will this be the end of it?
This is your chance
I'm telling you,
to tell me if there's remorse in the heart. We need to talk. You understand me?
Mm-hmm.
We're not here because, we're just getting lucky. We're here because we know a lot of things. This is your one chance, my man. Why were you there?
Like me.
Okay, what happened?
She was there. She opened it. I didn't kill her.
Okay,
But
open the door. Tell me what happened.
She opened the window and said, "Hey, what's up?"
Okay.
Said, like I said, that was the morning that the neighbors were being crazy, and I was yelling. She opened the window and said, "Hey, what's up?"
Could have talked to Matt.
Of course, you just can't tell Dad that I drunk his cup because I was drinking. I had drank a beer or two. And I went in and we was talking and whatever. I fell asleep on the couch. And I woke up and said, "Alright, well, Matt's not here, so I'm just gonna go." So I was there for a little bit, not too long. I fell asleep on the couch and I woke up and said, "I'm going there because I was drinking. I need to get home before I wreck or something." I went home and I went to sleep. Then finally this happened and I was scared in a way. I was just scared because I didn't want to think that no one had done this yet. I didn't want to open my mouth and tell anybody I went there with the truck.
The problem is that the neighbor saw you there. You understand?
Yes.
Shows thinks he's just dodged a bullet, but to his surprise, the detectives have more evidence up their sleeves. What he believed was an escape is about to turn into a bigger trap.
They saw what you were wearing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? You were wearing slides that day.
Yes.
Those slides are the footprints we found in the house in the blood. Understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's why I know you're lying to me. Where are those slides right now?
My dad's house.
They're in the house.
My dad. My ex, Ronnie Smith, not Sarah.
So they're at your dad's house, Ronnie Smith. He lives up there also?
Mm-hmm. No, he lives in over there by Pogies.
At Pogies?
That
What's his
restaurant. I don't know his address. I know he lives in the apartments behind Pogies.
Okay.
Where that ice machine's at, he lives right there.
See, we know what happened. We know you walked all over the house. Correct? You walked in her blood. You left footprints. We have your shoe size. We know what kind of slides you were wearing. Neighbor saw you. So, as of right now, I want to know exactly what happened. Tell me what happened. Why did it happen? Did she attack you? Did she threaten you? Did she pull a knife on you? Did she scare you? What happened? This is your chance, my man, to show some remorse, because I know in your heart you feel it. This is something you're carrying with you. And the only way you're going to feel better about it is to let it go. You believe in God, right? You believe in forgiveness, right? Tell me what.
Yeah.
did it? What happened?
I shot her.
Can you
But
tell
I
me?
got scared.
I understand. I would have been
I got
scared.
scared because I was there and I didn't want nobody to think nothing.
Finally, the confession came, but with it, the horrifying details of the crime are about to unfold, and the monster behind the innocent face was about to be revealed.
I just kind of blacked out, I guess. I don't remember being home and that's it.
I understand. So a lot happened. A lot happened.
I'm not myself sometimes. It's not the only time it's happened.
Just a minute. A lot happened, and I understand. You know, sometimes we make mistakes.
It's something like that. I just lost everything I got. I lost my whole fucking life.
We make mistakes, you know, and it makes you a man to face it.
I wanted to turn myself in. I just didn't know how to do it without getting away from everybody. I wanted to come, because I hear these things that they'll really put you away if you try to hide or whatever.
Well, it's more helpful if
I didn't want
if you come forward and you,
I just
and you
didn't
show
know how I
remorse.
should face my wife and see her heart after I was there and carried her casket.
Yes, sir. I understand. I saw you
I
there.
just didn't want to see her heart break like that after I know I hurt her, because I never saw I hurt her in any way like that. I just didn't know how to get here to turn myself in without letting everybody know what I was doing, because now here is my safest place. Because they're going to want to kill me.
Well, I knew you were carrying that burden in your heart.
They're not going to want to, there ain't going to be no talking from now on. This is the safest place I can be.
No one's going to hurt you, right? Understand? Now,
I had a 22 to 22s and I was drinking, I was drunk. Not thinking, I just had one beer. I drank about that much that day.
where's your 22?
In Harold gun cabinet.
Okay, so you got it out of Hannah's gun cabinet? Okay,
And I was playing around outside shooting the gun and stuff.
that's the showcase we found in his driveway.
Yes, it was a 22 rifle. It was mine that I bought
Where did you buy that?
off of a buddy. I don't even know if it's a good gun or not. I just know I bought it because I wanted it.
Mm-hmm.
I had it a long time before. And since everything's out now, I always had thoughts of killing and what it would be like. Would it make me feel any better because of everything that happened to me? And would it make anything any better if I killed someone? Will it make my anger go away? Or did it do nothing to me?
Did it change you? Do you feel better?
I feel fucking horrible. I wanted to turn myself in. I can't sleep, man. I can't really eat.
Mm-hmm. It's a big burden you were carrying. So this is thoughts that you had before that you want to see how it felt to kill someone?
Yeah, like, is it like the movies or not? It's like, there's so much that goes on in my head, I can't even think straight sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And when that stuff happened, I can't remember. I remember going in there and being scared. And she got up and was running to the back door, and I shot her. And I drug her in the kitchen, and the rest is just foggy.
Okay.
Because I guess the jacket hit me or something, and I don't remember nothing. And I remember being so scared, and I couldn't find the truck keys. There's blood on Harold's truck. Harold didn't have nothing to do with this, I promise.
Okay.
He was not there. He had nothing to do with it. But there was blood in his truck, and I tried to clean the blood up because it was all over me.
Mm-hmm.
Shows killed Amanda simply because he wanted to experience what it felt like to take someone's life. A disturbingly senseless and utterly ridiculous motive. The crime is done, and there's no turning back from this horror. However, it's not over yet, as the most disturbing details are still to come.
I don't feel like I'm right sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
which I'm not.
Well, you know, everybody's different. Everybody has things they got to deal with.
And I'm not a violent person. I don't know what happened.
Nobody ever said that. No. I never thought you were a violent person.
I knew it was over when they arrested me because they didn't do nobody else like that in the family.
Yeah.
They didn't just go in and grab nobody and arrest them. I knew I was done.
So can you, if we go back to when you got off work, you have
I'll
thoughts?
tell you everything.
Okay. Tell me
Everything I told you before was true. That was
Yes, I believe all that.
Just Wednesday.
Wednesday. So you're telling me you have thoughts of this?
No, never had
Killing
thoughts
someone.
of killing.
Not her.
Not her. I just.
Yes.
I
But you
told
have thoughts of
Sarah
killing
about
someone
this.
before.
Sarah told me I needed help.
Yeah.
Because I would just I'd be just talking like this right here,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like I would lock up and just thought the killing would come in my head, or strangling somebody, because I just always felt angry. Not at nobody in particular angry, it's just
Internal anger.
yeah, family got split up, we moved here, I lived in Mississippi all my life, and there's so much stuff going on, and I don't feel like I just feel horrible because I never got a job, but I've had so many jobs. I feel like I'm not a good man for Sarah. I can't provide or nothing. I had a house, I locked the house to drinking. I can't put drinking down. Drinking is a problem for me. Which, that was the last time I drank, was on that Wednesday. I got off work Wednesday morning, I went home and I showered, let the dogs out, watched them in the garden. I took Harold's Jack bottle, Jack Daniels, and I just kind of chugged it. I had change in my drawer in the room. I grabbed the change, I went to a little store. Which I'm surprised I even made it 2 minutes ago, and back like I said with the gas. Went to a little store, I bought 3 2-quart Budweisers. I had $2 in the gas for the truck to hopefully make it back home.
Yeah.
I put $2 more in the truck to make it back home, and I got a pack of more red that came home. I sat there and drank all 3 of them Budweisers, and I put it in the truck. Then I mowed the yard. I thought I'd mow up, so I put it up. Then it's like I got one of them steaks. And I couldn't stop myself this time. I had to go do something. The only one that came to mind, but I knew she was alone because Matt was at work. I worked with him. But however, I didn't go over there to kill him. I was just going to go over there. Hopefully Matt was there to talk to me. On my way there, I called my mom and told her I loved her, and called her Ronnie. And there was a lot of times I tried it. I just wanted to turn the truck around and go home, and I couldn't. I didn't know what the hell I was doing, actually. I wasn't in my mind, I guess.
Yeah.
And I just kept looking at myself in the mirror ever since, and thinking, how can I do this? How can I lose myself? They always, the bad guy never gets away. They always get him.
There's no clear expectation of what Shows was truly thinking. But once he got drunk, he transformed into the very same violent person he insisted he wasn't.
I didn't intend to hurt no one. And we were sitting there talking, I fell asleep on the couch. You know, like I was sitting, I was asleep because I was drunk. And I woke up. Oh, I did kind of grab her leg, and she said, "Stop, don't grab my leg." That's when I got scared. I didn't want to say that. I didn't want to lose nothing. But instead of a simple argument with my wife, I lost everything now. Because when I got the gun, and she ran, and I shot her, and I drove her in the kitchen. The rest, I don't remember.
When you drug her in the kitchen, we see there was, you moved her around in the hallway, correct? You have to move her.
Yeah, to close the door.
So the door was open, you tried to run out the door?
Yeah, that's why the neighbors said they heard her scream, because she screamed out the door, help, that's when I shot her.
Okay, so will she fall out the door?
Kinda.
Kinda?
And I grabbed her and yanked her back in.
And you closed the door. And then do you move her?
Yeah, I remember after that, I remember dragging her and through the hallway, and then I don't remember.
How do you drag her?
Like
Like a shirt?
Yeah, like not sure, and it's kind of.
Okay. And then you placed her in the...
Then I set the gun.
Where do you put her at when you drag her?
Just in the kitchen.
Kitchen. Okay, and then the gun you put where?
I set over there and the blood had ran all over on the bottom of the gun. And the gun probably got blood on the bottom of it. I tried to clean it, but I don't think I got it. I just need to know that this was just me. Nobody had nothing to do with it. I knew I snapped out of my... I snapped out of these things and stuff, and I knew I was up. When I got back home and laid down, I started crying. I knew I messed up. I wanted to turn my in, but I was just scared to. Because I'm clean. So I took my Jordans and I told him that I took them to my dad's.
Your Jordans?
Took them to my dad's, and I told him to leave them there. I've been trying to avoid getting them back until everything kind of settled down, but I knew it wasn't ever going to calm down. They were going to get me eventually.
What about your clothes? Where's your clothes at?
I burned them.
You burned them? Where you burn them at?
At Harold's house in that fire tank. I burned them, my underwear, I burned my socks.
Okay.
And I just threw them in there, poured gas on them, and burned them, and then that's why I just took them to my dad's house. I had them at the house for a little while.
Yeah.
Then that Friday, like I said, I was off that Friday, and I,
Yeah.
just took them to his house.
Did you, when you took him to his house, did you clean him at all?
Yeah, I put bleach and stuff on him trying to clean him. Not at his house.
Yeah. So, okay, so there you cleaned him, and there your dad's house. Let's talk about her phone. What happened with her phone?
I took it.
Okay. What's the reason?
I remember the spot right there. I remember I was dragging her, grabbing her phone because I grabbed the gun and I seen the phone on the floor and it was covered in blood. No, I went around in the back to make sure there wasn't nothing around back. I was making sure there was no one looking at it, but apparently like it was in me. Then her phone was sitting on the back porch, the back step, with blood all over it. And I picked it up and I got in the trunk. I think that's where all the blood came from that got in the trunk, I guess. Because I had blood on my hands. I was going down the road and I guess I got a little past Circle K, heading back out to McCarthy's and I just jumped out the window there.
Okay. So which way when you left Amanda's, which way did you go?
Well, you come out of the yard, you take a right, at the main section, you take a right, and I took another right. I come out by where all the trailers are at and stuff.
Yeah, the trailers they sell?
Yeah.
Okay. By the Taylor Chronicles or by the other side, by Lehman's Auto?
I think it was the body shop.
The
motor shop. I think I came out there, I took a right, and I went to that red light, and took a left, and then I went all the way to the main red light, I took another left, and I stayed on that road.
441?
Yeah, 441.
Where did you throw the phone?
Past Circle K, I got a little past Circle K on 441 going north, and I just grabbed the phone and chunked it out the window. But then I had stopped out of everything I did, like I wasn't drunk or nothing no more, I just knew I messed up, and it was all like a fog.
So, when all this happened, you left immediately, you went straight to your house after that?
Yeah. I left, I threw the phone, and then I went home and I showered and I burned my clothes and I knew I messed up.
So, the reason why you got scared, why was you got her leg and you thought she was going to tell on you?
I didn't want her to tell nobody. I was scared I was going to lose my life or whatever, but now I didn't lost her.
So that's what scared you. You kind of made her move on her and she rejected you and you thought she was probably going to tell you. Correct? I'm not.
Yeah.
This is what happened. Okay.
Then it's like I just kind of blacked out again.
Let me ask you something. Why were her clothes off of it?
See, I don't remember that part. That's what I'm saying. I don't remember nothing other than
we've gone this far, so
yeah.
There's no. Don't change things now. I need to know why her clothes came off.
Shows initially hesitates to say anything more, but the detectives would soon get him to reveal the most disturbing details.
Yes, I did things.
So you did things to her? Okay. So when you say you did things, did you have to her? Okay. Were you wearing a... Okay. So you did inside of her. When you were done, why was her body placed the way it was?
I didn't look at how she was placed at all. I just kind of got up and left and ran out. I didn't know what I was doing. I mean, I can't. I'm done lying. Like I said, everything that's out is out now. And I don't know why the hell I did what I did. It didn't make no sense to me at all. Why I was doing what I did. I couldn't stop.
Well, I mean, you have no control over what was going on.
There was all this. I wouldn't dare hurt that baby. I understand I was on this rampage and just ranting. And I get that way even without alcohol. But alcohol makes it really worse.
Yeah. Now.
Yeah, he come there, he didn't cry nothing. He just sat there and I said, buddy, it's okay, go. I never went to bed or nothing. When I heard there was blood on the bed and stuff, I don't know what they're saying. He was asleep when I got there. He was in the room asleep.
He was in
I guess he heard the shot.
On the, where at?
I guess in his bed. I think he had his own bed in there. Like I said, I didn't really never go in there. I guess he heard the shot and it woke him up.
Okay.
Then he come in there and seen that, and I thought it was going to be okay. You go to bed, buddy. Go lay back down. Like nobody's going to hurt you. And he went in there and got on that bed. And I think maybe that's how blood got on the bed or something. He walked through Amanda's blood and got on the bed with it. That was never on the bed.
What about the dog?
She didn't mess with me. She never really had a problem with me. And she never really liked nobody, but she didn't have a problem with me. She barked at me a little bit, but then I told her to calm down, and she didn't mess with me.
When you first got there, Amanda told her to calm down, and she calmed down.
Mm-hmm.
With everything coming to light, the detectives now need to figure out how shows gained entry into Amanda's house.
So let's go back to when you got there in the truck. But you drive the truck there?
Yes.
You drove Harold's truck.
This one's before they even got there.
Where do you park the truck?
Just in the driveway.
The driveway.
Straight
Normal.
in the driveway.
And what happened when you got out of the truck?
I got in the truck and I went around and knocked on the door.
Which door?
Front.
The front door.
Yeah, that one you right there, and I knocked on the front, and she answered, open the window.
So she opened
First
the window to see
time
what
I
was
saw
out
this
there.
right here, I was really, like I said, I was hoping Matt was going to be there to make me just think and not do this.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't stop myself from going over there.
Yeah.
He wasn't there. Then I kind of had quit myself, and then something made me just reach and grab her leg, and then I got scared because she said stop, and what are you doing or whatever, so I didn't, I got scared, then the rest, it's history from there. And got the gun and I shot her.
Okay. The shell casing that came out of the gun, do you know where that's at?
It was still in the gun when I got to Harold's house.
Okay. So it was stuck in
Because
there?
I pulled it out to make sure there wasn't no bullets in there, and then it flew out and I grabbed it, and I don't remember if I threw it in the yard or I left it there, because I picked a few, like I said, I shot a lot of 22 casings off that day. I was being stupid.
So you know
That one I think I threw it in the trash can.
The trash? Is the trash still out?
But it'd be long gone by now probably. I mean, it's there, but that's a little ass shell looking at garbage, but I can't remember if I threw it in the garbage or just threw it out in the yard.
So it might be in the garbage can in the house?
It could be, no, in outside garbage.
Oh,
There's
so
like
there's
four garbage cans outside.
So it could be out there in one of those garbage cans?
It's out there somewhere.
Okay. And you said the gun had blood on it and you try to clean it off. How do you try
Just
to
on
clean
the
it
bottom,
Okay.
where the Lysol wipe.
Mm-hmm. And you put it back in the cabinet?
Yeah. It's the middle gun. Only 22 rifle in there.
It appears that shows might be struggling with a mental condition, or at the very least, severe anger issues. And as the interrogation continues, he's about to reveal more about his unstable mental health.
To tell you the truth, that's why the night I was drinking at lunch, and when we so I just grabbed the Mustang back to go and hit the pole.
Okay.
It didn't do nothing to me.
So that's when you wrecked the car, you wanted to take yourself out. How long have you been having those thoughts? Okay.
It's been going on for a long time.
Okay.
It's like I can control myself, but then I can't.
Okay. Have you ever hurt anyone else?
Somebody fighting or whatever.
So you never killed anyone else?
Not yet. That's why I don't like to be. I don't like to be messy because I'm real little, but my temper and stuff's so bad that I go a little. Just get crazy, and I don't know when to stop. I went to jail for a battery. You probably seen it on my record. I went to jail for that battery, but the boy hit my little brother, and he's only 16. I grabbed him up, and they got on top of him. I would have killed him. Brittany didn't pull me off. I just kept beating his face in.
Okay. Okay. As far as your dad, you don't know what apartment number he lives in?
No, I know it's the second set of apartments.
The second building?
Yeah, and you go in on the left, and it's there.
On the bottom floor or top
The
floor?
very bottom floor, the very last door.
The last door?
Yeah, it's the second building. Second
Second
building.
building. The parking lot is, you gotta go past the building, then you turn into the parking lot,
Mhm.
and then you go to the last door, that's where he lives. And that's where your slides are at.
Yes, he has been there.
Ronald Smith?
Yeah. Can I ask you a question?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What,
Sure.
I know I'm telling one with the lifetime.
Oh, we don't know. You know, it's,
What's the most I can get for this? If you look on the history on my phone, I was looking up first degree murder and what is second degree, what is the premeditated thing, and I guess premeditated is you thought about doing it. Maybe that is the case, but I didn't have the intention to do it, it was just thought, and it didn't include that.
Yeah.
But they said death penalty or life, and
Well, and it's a crime. Obviously, we all know
Yeah.
that, you know.